missed our flight 3 times. He was gonna come, and I was like, there was a little cockroach in the laundry room because we couldn't believe our eyes of like what the heck we were living. This is actually serious. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be sharing my story with y'all on how my 3 months in Colombia was, how I feel about it, would I go back, the backstory, all that jazz that I've never been able to tell and I'm finally opening about now. And obviously you can't start a story without the backstory, so let's go into that. I would say in 2023, in September, early September, I was notified by my mom that I was gonna get sent to Colombia, like not like deported to Colombia, but like we were gonna go to Colombia. The first time I heard those words, I was kind of just like, okay, like another day, because I didn't really take it for real. But she started to say it more and more. Usually when she was mad at me or like when I would do something and we weren't on good terms, she would be like, we're gonna go to Colombia so that you can learn, or pa que aprenda. And I was just like, okay. But it got to the point where she was saying it so often that I never took her seriously. And whenever she would say it, I would just be like, oh my gosh, she's just like giving me light little threats that I don't really care about. I don't think that it started to really hit me until November when I realized, oh, this is actually being serious. Like, this is actually serious. And it took me a long time of thinking and processing to realize that I'm actually leaving, and it's not just gonna be like a 1 week vacation, a little 1, 2, 3, that's enough for me. Like, it was actually gonna be a long time, specifically 3 months. Or she didn't fully say 3 months, but she just said months. So I was like, what do you mean? I was really upset during this time. I would honestly cry about it because I really did not want to go. I dreaded Colombia, and it's not like Colombia is a bad place or that I hated it or that I have trauma from it, but I just don't see myself living there. And plus, in this time, 8th grade, I was thriving. I had friends. I had a whole community, especially my grades. I did not want my grades to fall. And most importantly, I had bunnies. And I can't leave them. Like, who am I gonna leave them with? Because it's very clear I can't take them to Colombia. They're probably gonna get eaten by like a dog or something. If I leave them here, then well, they're gonna go extinct because they don't have anyone to take care of them. So they're gonna pass away, and I don't want that. I was just constantly in an overthinking state. And then in December, I had this little group reunion, like with my family, in my room. It just started out originally with my sister and me. We were just talking about it, and then my dad joined, and then my mom joined, and they were all in tears at this point. And my mom was like, I don't want this to be a punishment for you, Gabby. I don't want you to see this as a punishment, but I just feel like it's the best thing to do right now to go to Colombia and have this vacation. I really need it because I can't imagine going on winter break and then going right back to the same old. I understood her. I understood not wanting to go back to the same 9 to 5 after you're kind of sick of it, honestly. So it's not like I provided any judgment. I just really did not want to go. I think everybody know that I didn't want to go. I was really resistant and stubborn about it. So that night we decided that we were going to go to Colombia, and it was going to be on Christmas Day or before Christmas. That was our goal, and it was final. And as for what did I do to prepare before the trip and everything, after I realized that this is actually gonna happen, I told my friends. First of all, I didn't tell them immediately. I just kind of told them a little over a few days before I was gonna go that I was leaving. And I had this dance thing. It wasn't like, I want to say it was like Hoko, but there's no such thing as Hoko when you're in 8th grade. It was just like this little dance, like winter break dance that we had in the gym, and all the students were in it. It has a specific name, but I can't really remember it right now. So at the dance, I think I told them or broke the news to them, and I just lived it out. because I knew that that was going to be the last day that I was going to step foot at my school until months later, honestly. And I told my teachers as well. I told them that how I was going to be gone, and I thought that I was only going to be gone for a month, because I heard months, but because I was in such denial, I was like, no, we're just going to be gone for a month. Like, I'll be back before the new term. And the new term started around January 11th, I want to say, maybe January 20th. My dates, no, it was January 20th that the new term started, and I was like, I'll definitely be back by then. So my mom also went to school, and she told my principal about it and everything. And the plan was for me to just stay, like, was to do online school and just do my work through Canvas. And I was gonna set aside 3 days a week to work for my school. That didn't happen though, because they said that you can't take our computers out of the country. Like, if I were to go somewhere like Colorado, it would be okay because I'm still in the United States. You know, I'd still be in the country, so it would be fine. It's out of the country, you can do that. So the only option was to unenroll me from school. So that's what we did. I was unenrolled, and I don't think I knew I was unenrolled until a few weeks after going to Colombia. We also celebrated Christmas, like we opened our presents, I want to say the 23rd, because we were planning on having another Christmas in Colombia. We did all that, and may I remind you guys, I could not find a babysitter or like a pet sitter for my bunnies at all. Like, I was struggling as I was asking friends left and right. I was looking online constantly. It was a constant thing. Like, it would keep me up at night, like, a lot. Like, I did not want to just leave them stranded like that, and it was so difficult to find one. And I guess it was left on to be continued for that little segment. And basically, long story short, we missed our flight 3 times in a row. We were gonna go to Colombia on the 24th, then on the 25th. That's like 4, but it's supposed to be 3. And each time it would be for a different thing. The first one was we didn't have the right information. Not really sure what that had to do with anything. Second time, we were late. Third time, we missed it by 2 minutes. So that's that. I was very sure that I was gonna go the third time, because the first time that we missed it, I think we were all happy that we missed the flight, because none of us were really ready to like actually go to Colombia. We felt like it was rushed. We didn't really want to go. So it was a win-win. Second time, I still saw it as a win. You know, I could go back to sleep and we would all be chill. It was gonna all be good, and I was gonna be happy and jolly. The third time we missed it, I was like, why are we missing our flights so much? I didn't really like that, obviously. It was very inconvenient. However, in a way, it was convenient because my dad stayed in our house a while after we, like, me, my mom, and my sister left to go to Colombia, because he wanted to finish up some work, finish up some papers before December 30th. So he stayed for a while, and he was the one taking care of my bunnies. I didn't get a chance to tell him how to clean the litter box and all that, so I explained that to him the day after our third attempt to catch a flight was denied, and it was very helpful because I hadn't taught him that. So, you know, that definitely served me good there. But besides that, I think we were all really amused and excited to go, because we even got our hair done. Like, it was crazy. Then December 26th, we finally were able to go on the plane. We hopped on. We were actually on the plane this time, flying out of my state, out of my country, to Colombia. I was kind of excited in a way, because it was like, I like being in tropical climates, and knowing that my sister was there, I was like, it's all gonna be good. And I kissed my bunnies goodbye, and we left. The first week when I got there, it was pretty usual, because I had been to Colombia before, back when I was 8, and another time when I was 2. Obviously, I don't remember the time when I was 2, though. You know, we greeted our family and everything, and I was playing with my little cousin, like on the streets of Colombia with our little ball. We were playing soccer, we were eating and everything. And during this time, we usually, like every time we visit Colombia, we stay at my grandma's house. And this time we stayed at my aunt's house because her house was just a little bit like peacer, like not peace, but it's just a little bit more peaceful in a sense because there weren't that many people living in it. She had 2 little dogs and I loved them, and it was just nice. And the room that they had wasn't crowded or anything, and they even had a storage room for our things, so it was all nice. My sister slept in one bed and me and my mom slept in another one, and they were different sizes. And I don't think we ever shared a closet because we kept all of our clothes in just a suitcase, which, you know, was practical. And it was nice, honestly. And I think I got pretty used to being in Colombia after a couple days, I would say. Like at first it didn't really feel like real. Like I felt like if I could just like walk a couple more steps, I'd be back in my state. And it wasn't the case, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. And then the weeks along that, so, you know, beginning stages of January, my dad was like hot and cold about coming to Colombia, because at first he said, after I finish my papers, I'll go to Colombia. And then he was like, no, I don't know, because of this and that. And it was just a constant tug of war of seeing if he was going to come or not. And it was important for us to know if he was going to come or not, so that we could plan things around it. Like if we were going to go on vacation to different cities in Colombia, if my sister could go back home, because that girl, like after 3 weeks, she was ready to go home, y'all. Like she did not want to stay here no more. After my dad came to Colombia, it was kind of a surprise. He kind of let us know like a day beforehand that he was gonna come, and I was like, oh. We went to the airport, we picked him up, and I was ecstatic to see him. I hugged him and everything. Like I was bawling my eyes out, like if I hadn't seen him in like 10 years or something. This is the part where it starts to get a little bit interesting. We went to basically what I felt like an abandoned home. My dad owns 3 houses, 2 in this country and then 1 in Colombia. And he was planning on remodeling it for us to live in it one day. I don't really know when that one day is gonna be, but you never know. And instead of going to an Airbnb or just any other place, he took us to that abandoned house. It wasn't really a house, it was like a teeny tiny apartment on the first floor, because in Colombia houses are built like stories, like different stories, like because it's technically considered a house, but there's houses and houses built on top of each other, and it's not an apartment or townhomes. Like I don't really know how to say, but I'll put a picture somewhere around here that kind of explains like what the situation kind of was. And this space was way far away from where my grandparents, like on my mom's side was, and where my aunt was. So it was pretty far, but we were closer to my dad's mom. So my dad's side of the family, we were a lot closer to them. He told his brother to clean up the space. He kind of did, kind of didn't. So we drove there from the airport to that place, and we packed our stuff to go. And prior to this, my sister was like warning my parents, like, don't go, like I know it's not clean, like there's no way he made it into a castle in these little amounts of years. Like I know he did not do all that. They were like, oh my gosh, like no, like that's not true, let's just see what's gonna happen. She was like, okay. So we saw what happened, and it was scary. There was a literal cockroach in the laundry room. Like this is all one floor. There was only 1 room, 1 bathroom, a teeny tiny kitchen, and like a laundry room, which really just consisted of a hole in the ground and hangers like across the roof. So instead of a roof being where the laundry room is, it was like completely open, and there were just rods going all the way to like hang your hangers. And from the from the opening, you could see all the way up to the 3rd story. So you could see the neighbor's laundry hanging on each story. These stories were completely different. The second and third were the ones that were actually remodeled. They were pretty big. They were all nice and pretty. They had running water, electricity. It was really nice. And the first one was like something. The first night we got an inflatable mattress, and then the other room had a bed. We obviously all couldn't fit in one bed, whether it was inflatable or the real one. The real one was pretty firm, and I didn't really like it, honestly. But when we got there, we kind of just like had like a staring contest at each other because we couldn't believe our eyes of like what the heck we were living. I think we walked around for a little bit to get to know the city because I don't think any of us wanted to sleep there, and we were just saying like what we were gonna do. And I think we also went to go buy like water bottles because there was only tap water there, and like I don't really drink tap water, but the Colombian tap water is like a little bit cleaner. But specifically in this city that we were staying at, it was not clean. So we went to go get water bottles. We walked around for like a good hour or so, and then we came back to the place. It was like, I'll book an Airbnb. So we were still in denial that this was our living situation, but it was closer to the night. I brushed my teeth. Surprisingly, I still did my skincare because if y'all don't know, I am a consistent queen when it comes to like my hygiene. Like I don't skip out on my hygiene, y'all. Like I can skip out on doing my little math assignment, my little essay, and like procrastinate on that, but hygiene, I don't care where I am. I will do my skincare. I will brush my teeth. I will floss my teeth. I don't care. I'm gonna do it. And then I put on my PJs. And me and my mom and my sister were planning on sleeping in one bed. And I was like, no. Because I did not having it. Because she was like, oh, there's enough space for all of us. And I'm like, okay, but if one of us wants to turn, like, what are we gonna do? Like, fall off? Also, let me just let you know that this house like was made out of bricks, and there's no flooring. There's no like actual floor. That's just the ground. So the ground was literally brick. So if you fall onto the ground, you're probably gonna get a concussion because it was little brick. Everything was made out of brick. There is no paint on the walls. There's nothing to cover the actual brick. That was that, and then my mom decided to just go sleep on the inflatable mattress with my dad, and me and my sister slept in that bed. And I would say that this is probably one of my most memorable memories with my sister because I think we stayed up until 2:30 a.m. I want to say, just talking. We were talking about houses, all these things, our situation, how we made it this far, my bunnies. Speaking of my bunnies, my dad actually was able to find someone to take care of them while I was in Colombia. I think he hired one of his like friends and just taught him how to clean up for my bunnies, how to feed them, and that was that. And it was obviously paid. And we just had that little laugh, that little chat, and then my mom was like, we're trying to sleep and you keep laughing like hyenas, like. So I was like, my bad. So we turned up the light, we fell asleep. For the rest of the days, we kind of just explored the city a little bit more, or at least for me, because I never really like went out in the city like that. And then we went with my grandma, the one that lived in the city that we were currently staying at. We went to this place called Chippy Chapa was the name of it, but my camera ended up malfunctioning on me and it didn't want to film the parts that I wanted to say, but that was the mall name. And we would always go to this food court that it had. It was like the side of the wall was just all bunch of food places, and then on the other side it was completely open. There was no wall on it and it just had a railing. And this mall was huge, you guys. Like it had a bunch of different floors, and then at the top floor there was a hotel on top of it. So it was a really famous and well-known mall. Like is probably the biggest mall in Colombia, honestly. And from that window one day we were eating and my sister was looking at Airbnbs, and we were super excited to finally get one because we did not want to live in that seemingly trap house anymore. And we had our hopes up all night, all day, and we talked to my dad about it. And he was like, yeah, no, this isn't gonna work because why do that when we already have a home? I don't want to spend more money, this and that.
And so we sat at the mall pretty late at night, and we weren't able to find an Airbnb that was less than $2. So we kind of gave up on that idea. And then my sister decided to leave. Like, she was debating on if she should leave or not. She was asking me for this, and I really wanted her to stay. But it was pretty clear that she would much rather be home and comfortable with her boyfriend and everything than in a place that literally looks like a trap house. So I encouraged her to go, because if she had gone with us to the two cities that we were going to be visiting, which were going to be Santa Marta and Cartagena, she didn't really want to swim, or she doesn't really like beaches like that, like swimming in them. So it would have been pretty pointless for her to go. So that night she decided to go, and we wanted to go to the city too, and we all planned to leave at the same time. So we were gonna go like on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. She ended up taking the flight on a Tuesday, and we took the flight shortly after her, like I would say a few days after, because we just wanted to make sure that she would get home safely and that her flight wasn't going to be denied or anything. And then after we made sure of all of that, we packed our stuff and went to vacation.
So it was through January 23rd through January 29th or the 30th that we were on vacay. So basically a whole week going to two different cities, Cartagena and Santa Marta. We went to Cartagena first. This was after my sister was left already. Those days were honestly, they were pretty fun, because our hotel, like, I still remember the smell of going inside our hotel. Like, it smelled so nice. It smelled like clean cherries, like laundry detergent, but like add cherries on top of it. Like, I don't know. It just smelled really nice, y'all. It was a really tall building though. Like, I ain't even gonna lie. I think we were on the 13th floor, I believe. Maybe higher. Can't really remember. The hotel was really nice. Walking around though, there was a lot of trash because people. I definitely enjoyed our little late night walks, and then we were on this like little guided tour, like this little truck that like took you around with other people. It was a really like nice decorated truck though, that was specifically for tour guides, so it's not like it's just a Ford truck. We went on that. It was fun, and I got to tour different places. It was all nice. I liked it. The weather wasn't too hot. There's something that I really remember eating there though was the mango. Like, I ate this like little like mango cup that was there, because I would go to the beach pretty often, like throughout that week in the two different cities. So whenever like the people there, they were selling like mango cups with like a little bit of salt, or on the tour guide, and we would go to places and there was like watermelon, mango, and like a grape stick, I would immediately beg my parents to buy it. Like, it was so good. To this day, I still remember how scrumptious the mango was. Like, y'all, I love mango. You can't tell. The food was definitely good. I was eating mostly American food, because after a while, like, of constantly eating soup and soup and soup and rice and potato as lunch and dinner, like almost every day, while I was at my grandparents' houses, I did not like it, especially when we were like living a trap house kind of home thing. So I was like excited to finally get a new taste of something, and it was a really tasty meal, I'm not even gonna lie. I was having pizza, I was having Burger King, I was having pasta, and something I drank a lot there was lemonade, because they put something in lemonade, y'all. I had this thing called mint lemonade smoothie, where it was like a flurry at the top and the bottom was the actual drink. It was so nice, you guys. Like, I still remember. I feel like I have a picture of the drink, and if I do, I'll put it somewhere here, but I don't think I do, but I might. It was really nice, honestly. It was a nice tour, low-key. I had to get through so many stairs though. Like, the hotel, like sometimes when the elevator was jam-packed, we would have to go through these staircases, and it was a lot, but I didn't mind because it was humid, it was tropical, and it was just all vibes. And then after our few days, I believe in Cartagena, we're up, we went to go to Santa Marta the 26th, 27th, I want to say. Santa Marta was definitely a lot cleaner. We stayed in a hotel. I'm not really sure how many floors it has or had. Not that many though, because we were on the second floor. The hotel was really nice and whatnot. Oh, also, y'all, the hotel that I was in, Cartagena, had hot boiling water, and I was sizzling in there. I was having the time of my life. Like, y'all don't understand. I felt like God had came down and gave me a hug while I was taking that shower, you guys. Like, it was so nice. Because in Colombia, the majority of people who aren't rich have cold water. And I don't mind cold water, because when there's hot weather, you know, cold water. But it was definitely not my favorite, and I was constantly freezing. But when that hot water touched my skin, oh, I did not want to get out. Oh, I did not want to get out. And I also bought a razor there because I had not shaved in a very long time. So I had a mini razor. I still have it. Actually, let me go show y'all. So this is the mini razor that I bought in a convenience store. It was kind of like a CVS here, but there it was just a store. It's the Gillette one. I thought it was like the Venus one, but it is Venus. Never mind, y'all. I'm tripping. It's so cute. Like, it's so cute. It's like super thin and miniature, and it's so nice. And then, like, I would just pop back in place, close the cover, and it would all be good. And then I would slip this into my bag, and it was all good, y'all. So I really liked being able to have this because it was super helpful to me, because I did not want to go to the beach with hairy armpits. Like, not my thing. That was that. And a really nice shower. But then in the second hotel, the water was more like warmish. It didn't really get like boiling a lot, which I was like, okay, so then why do you call it a hotel if you don't have hot water? During this time in Santa Marta, we went to this beach called Playa Blanca. It was a really, really pretty beach. It was so pretty, y'all. We took a bus, and it was almost like an hour and a half, maybe like a 2-hour long drive. Oh my gosh. We went on a train to Santa Marta, and oh my goodness, y'all, that train, it was such a long ride. Like, we took many different trains and these stations and everything. Also, when you got to the station and go to the bathroom, you legit had to pay for the toilet paper at the entrance, because Colombians will do anything and everything to get your money, especially if you're a tourist. That happened. I don't want to say like the bus was awful though, because it wasn't. Like, it was pretty comfy. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, the bus was not bad at all. But that's how we got to Santa Marta. And then fast forward back when I was talking to the beach. An important thing that you all should know about me is that I love swimming. I absolutely adore it. I love beaches. I love pools. All of it. Like, I love it. I have the time of my life. I feel euphoric whenever I'm swimming. You guys, like, I love water. Drinking it, like showering in it, bathing in it, and swimming in it. Like, me and water, we like this. And it was so nice, you guys. And then we also toured around. We were walking a lot, but it didn't feel like a lot because I was having fun, even though I really did miss my sister. Also, speaking of my sister, when she came back to our state, she took care of my bunnies. She was the main one in charge of them. She cleaned up their enclosure. She gave them a whole new remodelement. It was nice. They were living their lives, because I think the other guy just kind of put a bowl full of food there and just left it for them to eat and didn't really change their litter box. So they got a little bit chubbier. But you know, then my sister came and she knew what she was doing, y'all. That's that. And then we went on this like little like musical bus that would play really loud music, and there were flashing lights. It was nice, y'all. And we were on it and everything. We were touring around the city, seeing new views. We were vibing, and the truck kind of looked like this. Even though I was kind of tired and the music was literally pumping through my own heart, but that's just the Colombian vibe, I guess. I also rode this electric scooter, and we would like go in lanes like that. It was fun. I'm not even gonna lie, like, this was me when I did that. And I've never ridden one before, so it was really nice. It was close to our hotel and everything. And the food there at that place was also really nice. And then we encountered this entire thing, which was like a puppet, like a life-size puppet, like a human-sized puppet that was being moved around by this one guy. and he was like getting money from it, I guess. Like, this was the video, y'all. And I was like, what? Like, I was so confused. That guy, he was getting the bank. He was getting his bank. Then I think we went back to the hotel, ate some cool food again. I think that was it. I think we stayed like another day at the hotel, just like repacking and stuff. Like, I don't think we really did anything after that day. We were just repacking stuff. The hotel food was pretty good though. I'm not even gonna lie, like, it was good. And then we went to the pool for the very last time. Also, our hotel was like literally a centimeter away from the beach, so it was really nice. We would just jump in whenever we wanted to. So I went to the beach, went to the pool on our last day there, and then January 29th, I want to say, we flew back to our city, Colombia. Like, I think it was Cali that we flew back to. And that was the last time I was ever going to be able to stay at my aunt's house or any other house. And I was going to have to live with my grandma, like my mom's side of the family. And I love them. Don't even get me wrong, but sometimes there would just be a lot of people there, and it would be really noisy, which is expected because, you know, it's Colombia. But I was like, I didn't really want to be there, y'all. But the shower was a lot bigger than in my aunt's house, so I guess that was a plus. Like, things were just a lot bigger in that house, but I still preferred the peace at my aunt's house. I got settled and everything. Just a real quick story for y'all. One time, a dog ran into my grandma's house, and she scurried right under our couch, and this guy, like these two people, were trying to kidnap the dog. And then my aunt, immediately when she saw her, she came up to those people because they were trying to get in our house, like trying to get back the dog, and their excuse was like, oh, I think that's the guy from up there, like I think that's his dog. And she was like, nope, this is our dog. Yup, so you're lying, so bye-bye, shoo-shoo. And he was like, oh, they caught us. So he zoomed by. My aunt decided to keep the dog because she was scaring her. She was so scared, y'all. She was breathing heavily, like rapidly. And then she ran out the couch and in under my grandpa's bed. She just stayed there until my other aunt catched her, and she gave her to my other aunt Nancy, and she was like, I'm keeping her. Yep, I'm keeping her. And she was so adorable, guys. I loved her. And I think the next day they took her to the vet. She got her checked out and everything. And soon enough, she became part of the family. This is Luna, y'all. Like, I have a bunch of videos of Luna, y'all. She was adorable, y'all. Like, oh my gosh, I still love her so much. She was the cutest thing ever. And I love dogs so much. But then we move on to false February. During false February is what I like to call it. I was basically receiving a bunch of false excitement because I went to my other grandma's house on my dad's side for a couple nights. I went to go sleep over. We would visit there often because we would like hang out with my grandma, go to places with her, and with my uncle. It was all cool, all chill. And then with my favorite cousin, we had a sleepover because the last time I had a sleepover with her was when I was 8 years old. We were having a blast, honestly. Like, we were playing with toys and everything, like little kids, like without any cell phones, without distractions. We were playing board games, we were running around. It was so much fun, you guys. We went to go to sleep, and my uncle had his own designated room because he didn't really like live in that house because he had his own house. So that was kind of just like his old room, I would say, and we just slept there. And then I remember that they had to put up this like fly net so that flies wouldn't attack us while we were sleeping. And it like made this like little cute vision. Like when you look up, you just see a pink little cover there, and it made the room look really cute. Didn't watch TV. I think we did for like a little bit. But we just started laughing and talking and laughing and talking. I think the dad stayed up till like 2:30 a.m. Like, it was fun. And it was like a 2-day sleepover. So I just kept sleeping over. And we would like go explore the city a little bit. We, like me, my grandma, and my favorite cousin, we would just explore the city. And it was really fun, very enjoyable. I don't regret it at all. Towards the end of February, I want to say February 23rd, February 24th, my dad said that he was going back to Utah. And I was like, take me with you? Like, and he was like, anyway, like, girl, I'm trying to go with you. Like, what do you mean anyway? He was like, Gabby, no, it's fine. Like, I'm gonna try and take you. The biggest stress that I encountered while I was there, an American passport, was like, oh my gosh, you're getting kidnapped. So, you know, they just didn't let me go. My dad was clearly trying everything to do it. He even got my sister to send him a picture of my birth certificate to get it printed out so that he can show legal proof of not being able to leave the country. Just because, especially with my dad, because they didn't believe that he was my father, because he had a U.S. passport and I also had a U.S. passport, but I had a Colombian passport that my mom got me pretty soon after, like during February, and she was good at getting it for me because I had the identification proof that I was a Colombian citizen. Me leaving the country with another man who had his daughter, and they didn't accept it. So my dad failed all of his attempts to take me with him, and he left pretty shortly. I want to say the same week, the following week, I want to say. And then me and my cousin had another sleepover because my dad wanted to stay in his home, where the trap house looking one, and I stayed at my grandma's a little bit, and it was just a blast, honestly, I want to say. And the next morning we all woke up and took my dad to the airport. He got all his stuff figured out, and I wished a lot that I could go with him, but you know what, it's fine, y'all. Like, I don't think it was that important. So he went back, and then it was just me and my mom. And since it was just me and my mom, there was really no big reason for me to just constantly be at my grandma's house, because she doesn't want to be driving like 30 to 40 minutes from her city to this city, the city that my dad grew up in, and just wasn't worth it for her. So I was like, okay. Then we move on to the stress and boredom filled March. March was probably one of the driest, most boring states for me. I would really just stay in my grandma's house, like my mom's side family house, and I don't really want to say like it was completely boring and I was constantly stressed out, but I was always thinking about school. I was thinking like, how am I gonna make up all this work? Like, I don't really know what to do. Like, y'all help me. Don't really know what to do. And I was missing my friends so much. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, like, what are we doing? Because it was pretty clear that I did not go to school before the end of the term, because that was 2 months ago. I just kind of became part of the little routine. I would wash dishes sometimes, I would clean the table, I would sweep, do all these things, and hang the clothes on the little rods, because my grandma's house also had like a little open roof where you can hang your clothes. That's just how a bunch of Colombian houses are, since they don't really use like dryers and only washers, or sometimes you would wash it by hand. So doing these chores, they weren't bad. Like, in a way, I kind of liked them because they were light chores. I could just listen to music while I was doing it and all that. Kind of just like grew in my routine, in my heart, to do these things. And then I would often call my friends, or I would call my sister, and we would have really long talks. Those were probably one of my second most memorable moments, when I would just have really long calls with my sister and let her know about everything that's going on. And in a way, I felt like it just released a lot of stress load that was in my mind, because I wouldn't like necessarily like constantly dump on her, but just having someone to talk to in your own language that you grew up with, it was just nice. Because as most of y'all know, Spanish is not my first language, so I don't have the best fluency in Spanish, but when it comes to English, give me that A+. That just became routine orientated. Sometimes I would go over to my cousin's house. Me, my mom, and my aunts, we would just talk with them. We would play domino with them. It was chill. Like, they would show us around, and it was nice. Kind of became routine orientated. One big thing that did happen though was on this thing called un centro comercial. Technically it just means commercial place, but it's basically like a mall, but it's not really like a mall. It's really just a place where a bunch of little small businesses are gathered in one building. And that is where I posted my viral TikTok of me getting my hair done in that place. If y'all want to see it, I'll put the video down in the description below, or y'all can click on my account. That was the first time that I fully learned how to do my hair, because I was struggling a little bit with my hair, y'all. Like, it was fried, lied, and dyed to the side. Even though my hair looks a little bit fried and dyed and laid to the side right now, but I promise y'all it's way better than it was. And I learned how to do my hair, how to define it, how to moisturize it. It was really nice. My hair isn't defined right now, as you can tell, because I haven't really had time to like do all that. Kind of detangle it and braid it and call it a day for the rest of the week. I had to do my own hair there, and I believe I got my hair done twice while I was in Colombia, because I did not want to wash it, y'all. I dreaded everything but to wash my hair. And in January, I forgot to mention this, but I got braids in Colombia because they were really cheap. I wanted to get them here in my own state, but we couldn't find a person to do that, so we ended up doing it in Colombia. It was not the best experience, because this is how my braids looked, and my head felt so freaking tight after those braids. Like, I could not even like move my braids just a little bit, like put it to the side, because it hurt so much. That's an entire different story of the whole braid situation. Having my own natural hair out, feeling confident in it, having it be so voluminous and moisturized and bouncy, it was a really good feeling, you guys. And that is another experience that I'll never forget, because it really did change my hair routine. Most of my March was just filled with routines, regular visits to my cousin's house, sometimes grocery stores, which is kind of fun in a way, because I'm not used to going to grocery stores in Colombia. And then we visited my mom's little school when she was growing up. I think it's abandoned now, or maybe it's still open, I don't know. But we visited it, it was nice, and we would basically just walk around a lot, go to like farm markets, grocery stores, all that, just to get me out of the house. And I don't regret it at all, because it was kind of fun sometimes. We went to bakeries a lot. I don't want to say that March or my experience of Colombia was like super bad, because it wasn't. Just in a ways, I felt like a little bit like left out, because I didn't feel like my Spanish was good enough to have full-on blown conversations with my family members, because I would have conversations with my family members, definitely. But I didn't feel like I could go into much detail like how I wanted to. You know, overall it was a really nice experience, especially some parts of it. Other parts were kind of just boring, or they were just stressful. The overall image, it was nice. It was a good experience. And then me and my mom were originally planning to leave Colombia a while ago. We didn't plan to stay there until like March 25th, when we literally got there back in December 26th. But with the whole constant back and forth of, oh, I can't leave the country because I'm a Colombian citizen, is considered kidnapping, and blah, 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 a lot of stuff. My dad just had to send an actual copy of my birth certificate, like the real one, to Colombia, and he sent it through the wrong mail. Because you see, regular mail here, it takes 3 to 5 business days to get here. Regular mail in Colombia is probably going to take a good 50 years before your mail gets to you. So that's why it took so long for me to be able to leave Colombia. And I also caused this like false excitement, because I think I'm leaving and then I don't, and then I think I'm leaving and then I don't. And my dad had to send it through fast exportation, like fast shipping. And the paper ended up getting there on a Thursday, because we waited until Monday for the regular one to come. It didn't come, and then he sent it again on Tuesday with express shipping, and it got there on Thursday. So on Thursday, I remember this mailman on a motorcycle came by. I was like in the living room, I think, and he wanted to give this document to us. So I looked at the document. It was my birth certificate, and in a way, it was like a ticket to get out of the country. I remember being so overly happy. I was jumping off the walls. I was so excited. Like, my little cousin, she was jumping with me, y'all. She was so happy for me. Like, I wanted to cry because of how happy I was, knowing that I finally had the ticket to leave this country. Literally, like, we were finally able to book the flight, because we couldn't book the flight if we knew that I can't get out of the country. So we booked the flight. And I don't remember what day I left, but it was the March 25th. So whatever the day that was, we left. And we woke up super early in the morning. I gathered all of my things. I took a shower in the night before, brushed my teeth in the morning. And y'all already saw the whole travel trip because I posted a video on that. I'll link it in my iCard above or in my description. And that was my whole trip basically, but like in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I was so happy, you guys. Like even my family members could tell like I was radiating a bunch of light off of me. Like at 4 a.m. y'all, I was ready. Like I was not tired, y'all. I was so excited. Then comes my exciting arrival. I was booming with joy. Like, oh my goodness, guys. Like when I got to the airport and my sister her boyfriend were there, we got in the car, we drove home, and I was so happy. I was like, I'm finally in my hometown, my home country. I was so happy, you guys. And prior to this, I remember asking my sister one simple favor, which was to get me a Chick-fil-A brownie. And a lot of people would be like, okay, why specifically a Chick-fil-A brownie? But Colombian chocolate tastes way different than American chocolate tastes in a way, probably because there's not that much sugar in it. I love chocolate, you guys. So for me not being able to eat chocolate, like my kind of chocolate for 3 months, it was like painful in a way. I was really craving Chick-fil-A brownies. Chick-fil-A brownies were my thing. Like I love Chick-fil-A brownies. She got me one and I hadn't known until I got to my home. So when we got to my home from the airport, I was gleaming with joy. I saw my room, I saw the present she left, like I saw the brownie on the kitchen table. The house was nice, it was clean, it smelled nice. Like it was such a euphoric moment, you guys. Like oh my goodness, I did not want to go to sleep because of my excitement. And we ate a Chick-fil-A salad, I believe, because she bought some prior to picking us up because it would be too late by then. We ate the salad. I ate my delicious brownie, and I was so thankful for it while watching a little show. And then we got in our PJs and went to sleep. I went to sleep at 3 a.m. that day, and I was so happy. The following days after I got from Colombia, they were rough. I'm not even gonna lie, because you'd think that after coming back home from so much joy and excitement that everything would go back to normal all smoothly. That's not really how it actually went down. I guess to put this story a little bit in a short version, me and my mom were constantly disagreeing and getting into non-physical altercations basically 24/7 throughout the duration of March and in April. In a way, I felt like she was just reflecting how she felt being back in a state that she doesn't like with literally none of her family members, and how she felt like I had everything because I was back in my country and I should immediately be back into routine. And it was just all that stuff, how I'm non-routine orientated. I mean, I like just gotten back from Colombia, and how she was just frustrated. It definitely took a lot of time before I was able to jump back into my routine fully, but it felt better. On April 10th, I finally went back to school. I actually didn't tell anybody that I was back home from Colombia. It was a complete surprise, and I was wearing this like green shirt with white pants and my hair up, and I did my hair and everything that weekend. It was a Monday, and the term had just ended, so I think this was term 4. And the last one was term 3, so it was perfect. I was kind of nervous leading up to go back to school because I didn't really know how I was gonna feel again. But I went to school. I went to my first class, and the second I entered, everybody started clapping for me. It's like they thought that I was dead, that I was never coming back. Like they were all really surprised, and they were like, oh! Like, it was crazy, and my teacher was really happy about it, and she literally asked me if I wanted to give a little presentation on Colombia. Like, girl, ain't nobody trying to do all that. Like, the first day I come back and you want me to do a whole geography project, like, let's be for real. And I told him a teeny bit about it, whatever, while I was sitting down in my seat, and everyone was just looking at me like, who the heck is this new girl? But I didn't really care because I was back in the places that I love. And think like, well, why would you love school? I don't really love school, but I love the people in it, like my friends, and honestly some of my teachers, some of my classes, like some of my peers, they low-key be funny. After my first period ended, I walked into the hall because that's the transition period, so first and second period. But luckily I had 2 periods in one, so I didn't have to like transition, I would say, like to different classes. Like I could leave the halls to take a break because we had 4 minutes to transition. So it was all chill. Like I would still leave the halls. I remember when my best friends came out of their classrooms. And I specifically remember Sora. She came up to me, she saw me, and she immediately embraced me in her hug. She was like, Gabby! Like, she was getting all teary-eyed, like, I wanted to start crying, y'all. And then my other friends that I'm not that close with, they like stared and like, because they couldn't believe I was back, because literally nobody thought that I was coming back. It was a really heartwarming experience, and in all of my classes that happened. All my classes had friends, and when they saw me, they'd be like, Abby's back. That was really a cute little moment that I shared that day. I don't think anybody expected me to come back like legit out of nowhere, because nobody knew. That was definitely an experience to remember. Throughout the rest of the days, I would hang out with my friends. I think on the 27th of April is when I finally hung out with my best friend, Sora. And even then, I didn't fully tell like the story like how I'm telling it now. It was a really joyful experience to be back. As for my last thoughts, like slash outro, because I'm not trying to drag this video too long, even though I feel like I kind of already did. Would I go back to Colombia? Absolutely. It is my home country. Like, it's where I'm from. Like, just because I had a tiny bit of an altercation there with a whole 3 months, like 1 month turning to 3 months, I would still go back there and just probably plan it better. When it comes to food wise, y'all, I feel like I'm just kind of used to a bit to Colombian food because like my mom cooks it pretty often. There, like in my grandparents' house, on my mom's side, we were constantly eating soup every single dang day. And I was so tired of it. So when I got a taste of American food, when I was on vacation to the other cities, I felt like I was eating good, y'all. People, I would say, they're definitely way different than Americans. They're a lot more chatty. They'll definitely converse a lot with you. Especially salespeople, they'll legit drag you by the arm because they stand outside the stores, try to promote the stores, and they'll legit be like, said good in the store. They will be aggressive with you. Like, if you're not careful, they'll basically take the wallet out of your pocket and pay for something you didn't even ask for. They need a raise, that's for sure. Overall, Colombia wasn't a bad experience, even though for a while I didn't even want to speak up about it because I was tired of constantly being there, and I didn't want to like make a whole thing about it. So I kind of just gave people like the bare minimum details until now. I would definitely say that now looking back, there were a lot of cool and adventurous things that I did there that I could have never done here, especially when it came to like family and stuff, and places too, because there's palm trees, and here in Utah there's no palm trees. The climate and the beaches and the pools, an entire adventure on its own. I also just want to say that like after I got back from Colombia, I noticed a lot of people changing. I feel like this was also an experience that God wanted me to go through in order for me to grow into the person that I am today, because I feel like now in December 2022 me to April was huge. Like, I feel like I had a bunch of character development. I was doing things that I never really did. I would speak about things that I never really spoke about. I was overall just a lot more confident, both mentally and physically, and I was emotionally a lot wiser, and I just felt a lot like myself. I felt like a new self, and it was really nice, you guys. My friends that I had, that they faded away quickly after I came back. Like, I would say like a week after I came back, they were practically almost all gone. Looking back though, at the time I really hated that I was gone for so long. Now I feel like it was necessary. It was necessary because it was time that God was weeding out the people out of my life that he knew wouldn't value me and didn't really care about my absence anymore. Kind of almost didn't want me back. It was also his way of changing my perspective on things, all that. It was an enjoyable experience. All there were rough times, rough patches, but overall definitely enjoyable. But we are getting to the end of this video, so I really hope that you guys enjoyed this little sit down story time type of video. I don't think I've ever really done with these because I'm usually just like always filming like here and there doing vlogs. But let me know if y'all want to see like more sit down chat videos, because I feel like these type of videos are definitely a little bit more mellow and it's more like y'all can connect with me better that way. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great day or night wherever you guys might be, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.